Hi friends, this is your pal Scott, and today we are going to talk about the movie. We're gonna talk about American cinema, and we're gonna talk specifically about the movie One Battle After Another, starring Benicio del Toro, um, Leonardo DiCaprio, Chase Infinity, Tiana Taylor. So I was listening to a review by Jeremy Johns. I'm not a huge fan of his. I do listen to his reviews pretty often. But I don't think he's as good as his compatriot who does the same thing, Grace Randolph. But he had an excellent point about this movie. He's like, hey, what's this movie about? Right? And you're like, it's a good question. And so he's like, they use the term revolutionary, right? And I'm like, yeah, that's right. And that term is used without a doubt. These revolutionaries, these are the good guys. These are who you're supposed to empathize with. This is who the story is about. These are the protagonists, right? But wait, wait a second. That looks like they're domestic terrorists. And he was like, are they domestic terrorists or are they revolutionaries? That's a real good question. That is a really, really, really good point. They're bombing buildings, public buildings with people in them. That is definitionally domestic terrorism, right? Which would mean that these are domestic terrorists, right? They rob a bank to fund violence. Yeah, like these, you're not like, I wonder. This is by definition domestic terrorism, right? And so then you get into this question of it's all language. It's all language, right? You slap the term revolutionary on there, and they did this on purpose. The French 75. They're pointing at the French Revolution, saying, hey, they had nobles over them, the people rose up, and then they revolted, and now they're free, right? But the issue is, I think, and I think there's a lot of value in this, right? We look at this film, and we're like, nobody who's conducting domestic terrorism considers themselves a domestic terrorist. They consider themselves a revolutionary. They consider themselves, fighting the man. They consider themselves as heroes, right? But the reality is, if you watch this movie, they're bombing public buildings. They're robbing banks to fund political violence. These are domestic terrorists. And it just, and the entire point of this is, I cannot stress to you enough how incredibly powerful language is, right? You slap the word revolutionary on it, it's all romantic, and you're talking about heroes. You slap the term domestic terrorist on it, nobody wants to be attached to that, right? Fascinating. Every single word you just heard in this video is my humble opinion, nothing more, nothing less. The important part is when I get to hear your humble opinion, when you get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider subscribing, and have a fetch millennium.